Okay, so my intention today is to show you how to go through several tasks on Naviance in order to apply to colleges. And this is what we went over in class with the seniors this past week in September. So on the Naviance page, they know how to get into their main page with an email and password that they all chose themselves. So you would need to get that all set up and plug that in. This is the main page. As you can see, I did a pretend one with Bo Brady as my student. And on the main page, there'll be emails that come directly from a guidance counselor in our office, or Mrs. Schillen might send out some emails, usually about different schools and or different tasks that need to be done or upcoming events that maybe are important for seniors. So there are two here that I haven't read, one about Bristol Community College and one about UMass Amherst. If I wanted to go back to my messages, I can click over here and view the shared messages that I have already viewed. So this one that says college deadlines for early decision and early action, I'm going to click on that. This was kind of a step-by-step task that I'm recommending for all of our early decision, early action students to get going on ASAP. The steps within this email are what I'm going to go over today, because all students who are going to apply to college do need to do them through Naviance. So the first task that we're going to go over is under the About Me tab. If you click on Resume right here, all students should create a resume in Naviance. That resume is used by our teachers and our counselors to write letters of recommendation. And some teachers and counselors will not write a letter of recommendation without that being in there. Counselors also use it as a reference when we have scholarships come in and we need to choose certain students that might fit the criteria for the scholarship. So it really is important that every student have a resume on Naviance, and it is a helpful tool for everyone to learn to use. So as you can see, this one was started. We added an objective, work experience, education. The education piece is important to have. Make sure you have in there. I added an athletic achievement. But as you go through, each one of these is a different drop down, and you can add something like an extracurricular activity, maybe chorus. You type it in there. You may pick grades 9, 10, 11. You don't have to have everything in there. It's really customized to how you want to do it. And on the side, there's tips on what you might want to write. Maybe this person has been in pro musica, or was some sort of earned a spot in a very very strong program or something like that. They want to add it to their resume. So you add that to your resume, and you can then customize your resume and create a printed format and move things around and save it as well. Okay, so it doesn't have to be saved, but it is a working resume which you can continue to improve, add, delete as you go along. Okay? And just as you put it in that way is how the teacher will see it. Okay, so the next thing that we had students do when we met with them in the classroom this past week is we went into the colleges tab at the top. And last year we had students put in colleges that they were thinking about. So here's a list of some schools that I put in, pretending I'm a student thinking about different colleges. Now, as a senior, what we're asking students to do is check off the boxes of the colleges that they're definitely going to apply to. So let's say I click on compare here, and I'm kind of trying to assess now my GPA as it compares to different schools, and my SAT scores and how it compares to my list of schools. And I'm thinking about it, and I decide based on that which ones I'm going to apply to, because I want a reach, I want a safety, and I want a few matches. So that's one way for you to compare and look at that list. So back to colleges I'm thinking about. Now I've decided what schools I'm going to apply to, and I'm going to check off the box for those schools that I'm definitely going to apply to. Okay? So let's say I checked off 5. I'm going to click on the move to the application list. I'm going to decide how I'm going to apply. So let's say I'm going to apply early action to Boston College, regular decision to BCC. I'm going to do early action to UMass Amherst because I know that there are 40,000 students that go there, and I have a better chance of getting into that school statistically if I apply early action. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to apply regular decision to Rhode Island College and regular decision to Wentworth. So I'm going to add those applications. And it comes to a page that tells me the different types of ways in which I have to apply to these schools. Sometimes it gives me an option. So maybe Wentworth, I'm not sure yet. I could go back and change it, but I'm going to leave it like that for right now because I'm not sure. When I know how I'm going to apply, I will click on it. So I'm going to update the applications list by clicking on this. Okay, and I come to a page called Colleges I'm Applying to. I can also click on this, Colleges I'm Applying to, right here, and come to the same page. So now I'm going to be working out of this page. For now, I'm going to skip the Common App count matching. We'll go back up to the top of that in a minute. I want to go down here and show you how you can see the different type of application, all the colleges that I'm going to apply to, how I'm going to apply to them, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4 of them are Common App. And you can also see a visual of that. The CA is right there. There's nothing in there, so that's direct to the institution. Bridgewater State, BCC are both direct to the institution. I could also apply direct to the institution through Wentworth, but that would mean 1, 2, 3 different applications there, and Common App would be one single application, so I would have about 4. So maybe it makes more sense for me to apply Wentworth Common App because that would be less applications to do. And I can go ahead and I can change that by clicking on this little pencil here and going down, scrolling down to that Wentworth and pick Common App, and updating those applications. So the other thing I can see on this main page is I can see where my what my dates are. If there isn't a date, generally that means it could be a rolling admissions, okay, which means I could apply at any time. But I caution you with that because sometimes there are certain programs within the college that do recommend that you apply to a priority deadline. So like Rhode Island College might have a nursing deadline within that open-ended rolling admissions deadline that you want to keep your eyes on. And you find that information on the college's website, which you can just click right on there. Okay, here it's showing you that I have not requested any transcripts for this. So if I want to request a transcript, I need to click transcripts here. And then I would click off request transcripts. I haven't passed in my form. This is telling me we have not received authorization from your parents to release transcripts to these colleges. So we need to make sure, and that's good. I'm glad I had that way because it shows you that you're not going to be able to request a transcript unless you have passed in that Form 2 guidance, so that we are authorized to send your transcript. Okay, but that is how you would request